Okay, so here's what's happening. Our Raspberry Pi 2B server, this guy, is having charging issues. It keeps rebooting it. It's going to like an infinite boot loop. So, we're going to take this charger that supposedly works at 5 volts, 2.5 amps, supposedly. And because this keeps giving us brownouts there. I didn't make up that word. It's a real word. Weird, I know, but whatever. So we're going to take this, we're going to slice it off, and we're going to connect it to the GPIO thing here. Okay, and we also have to make sure we get the right pins, because we don't want to put the wrong pins in the wrong place, and then BAM! Hello heaven! At least for the Pi. Okay, so stay tuned, and we'll make some progress. Alright, so we took the tip off, and we're going to measure this guy. When we measured it, it came out at 5.33, so I'm just going to attempt to... So I'm like holding it down like this, not the most professional way, but hey, it is what it is. There we go. And she's registering at 5.33. You want generally 5 volts. They said 5.25 is the highest, so going 0.08 over, hopefully it won't blow everything up and send us all to send my Pi to heaven. I think it'll go well, so let's go and rock out. Alright, oh, also, when you're looking at cords like this and you're wondering what's positive and what's negative, the one that's striped, can you see that stripe, is the negative one. And one of the ways you can tell with the multimeter is if you put on the wrong one, the reading will be negative. So the right one is positive, it's literally above 0, and the wrong way is below 0. I'll show you. So now as you can see, I have them on the wrong, I have them reversed, and so it's giving us a reverse reading. So that's how you know, if you get that, you know that you've got the positive on the negative and the negative on the positive. And don't do that when you connect everything, because then, yeah, it's not 4th of July. Okay, later. Okay, so now we're looking at the pinout for the GPIO board. So this thing here, this is the GPIO board, right? You want to know what that stands for? Google it! And right here is the pinout, right? So we're going to connect to the 5 volts and the ground, which is right here and here. Now I'd show you on the Pi that it's that by touching them, though I've already done that, and yeah, we're gonna do that later. So here we have our kit. So we're gonna take a 2-pin Dupont cap and get this guy connected and see what happens. Okay, so this is my crimp job. This one, not my best work. This one, better. Let's see what happens. Yay! Okay, so remember the striped one is negative or ground right here. This is ground, and this one is positive. So up here we got to connect the pins 2 and 4 on the Pi. So we took out the SD card. We took out the other peripherals because we don't want anything going haywire. We're actually going to unplug these guys too, just to keep things simple. And now, the moment of truth. Dun dun dun. So ground 1, 2, 3. So which is ground again? This is ground. 1, 2, 3. Is that right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So here. And then the active, which is here. Let's see if this baby comes home. Pray to Jesus. We have power! We have power! Okay. So apparently you can power your Pi this way. So now that we see it actually works. Good stuff. We're gonna connect the things and see what happens. Here we go. Alright, so we got everything connected. Let's see what happens when we hit the... Wait, where's the HDMI? We're gonna connect the HDMI too, so we can see what's going on the screen. Gonna plug this baby in and hope for the best. Yeah, boy. Alright, let's see what's happening. It's looking a little light. Oh, it's only 3 volt, that's why. Now if this doesn't work, I'm not sure what to do.
2,000 years later.
Hey, what's happening? Where's my laptop? Where's my other laptop? Okay, we're live. Are we gonna stay live? Are we going to stay live? Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Is it shutting? It's not shutting down. Let's see if the website is up. If the server is live. Let me see. Alright, we're connected to the internet. And I think she's working, yo. I think she's working. I think she found Jesus. She found Jesus. Let me see. Helsing Academy, the cloud. And we're good. We're live. We're live. Our website works. Our server's up. Yeah, boy. Doof, 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 doof. Okay. So it looks like our feeding directly into the GPIO is working, because this thing here, something's happening with this port. I don't know if it's the port or it's the connection pieces that we use to connect to it. Like this, I don't know if they just erode or whatnot. I don't know over time, because at first they start off strong, like a honeymoon phase. The honeymoon phase is amazing, but then it's like, nah. So, yeah, there we go. So it looks like we're good to go. Now I just got to figure out how to get this set up conveniently inside, so we can just plug and play, so to speak. So yeah, here we go. Everything is looking good. Booyah. Power on the path from a GPIO board. Woohoo! And there we go. So we got it working. We got our Raspberry Pi. Hopefully it has a more stable power supply now, because we're not going through the micro SD adapter or micro USB adapter port anymore. So hopefully everything should work out. We'll keep it tuned here, going through these guys. I gotta find a way to reroute that through the case and make it still look aesthetically pleasing, and yeah, we'll go from there. But right now we're good. Website's back up, so we should have no complaints. Maybe make that a weekend project. Who knows? We'll figure something out. I don't think I can lay that on the board. Maybe put it under the board? That's a tiny hole. How are we gonna do that? We'll figure it out. Okay. Thanks much for watching, and catch you later. Something else we did was we got this Pi running from a USB, so it still boots from the micro SD card here, but then it transfers everything over to the USB, and it runs from this guy, which is cool. Now, if you have a modern Raspberry Pi 5B, that baby boots automatically from your USB or your micro SD or even your NVMe. So if you have an NVMe head attached, it'll boot directly from your NVMe. You don't have to alter anything. It's fine. That's really wicked. Okay, and that's the little power light we put in before, or last night, or a few days ago, so we'll know that it's on. But I guess you can also say this will tell you it's on, because it like blinks. But yeah, I like that because it was a hole there. I want to put something in there, you know. So yeah, you know, there's a word for people that have an obsession with sticking things in holes. There's a word for that. I don't know what it is. I don't have that, because there's another hole right there, and if I had it, that hole would be filled. So booyah! I don't have that, whatever it is. But yeah, rock out, be at peace, and groove on. So with a little carpenter knife, I cut a little hole right there, and apparently I cut too deep, because now it's kind of loose. I didn't want it to be loose, but there we go. And yeah, here we go, we're running. You can record for me? Okay, here you go. Thank Yeah, so now as you can see, we have our Raspberry Pi 2B up and running. The monitor is on. The website works. We're good to go. So thank you very much for joining us, and we hope you solve your Raspberry 2 Pi B problems. If you have any of those problems, solve them as well. You can do it by patching straight to the GPIO port. Now, this is just me and my experience. I'm not saying this is what you should do, and I'm not saying it'll work, and I'm not saying it won't work. Yeah, disclaimer. So don't try this at home. Try at your own risk. Because if you blow your board up, that's your business. Alright? So, peace and love.